Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Cilinix Crypto. Hope you're all doing great. Hope you're having a great Friday so far. Hope you had a good week, and welcome to this new video on Solana. We're going to do a full update here. First of all, I wanted to talk about the fundamentals a little bit, because Solana has been able to reclaim back into the range relatively well, right? This is the 4-hour time frame. You can see we dropped down below our main support level right here at 145, 144. That's the main level I've been telling you. I've been telling you about for the last week, because we've been consolidating here for quite some time already. But beautiful fake outs. That's also if you watch my live stream on Wednesday, I think. Then you also knew that that was still very much a possibility. Obviously, Wednesday we got some bearish economic data that pushed all the markets down, but all the markets like US equities, but also Bitcoin, all of them recovered, and Solana did that relatively well. We also got some volume here into the main resistance level at 153, which you can see is the value area high. So that's good to see, and that's definitely a bullish indication. But ultimately, Solana is still back into that consolidation range, and we're still waiting for a real breakout. And I am not certain whether we can still expect a bullish breakout. All right, so that's what I wanted to talk about, or at least that's one of the things I want to talk about. Obviously, I'll try to talk about everything you need to know. Right, so fundamentally right now, well, my eye hurts a little bit. Fundamentally right now, Solana has been doing fine. DEX trading volumes, as you can see, over the course of the start of this week, we're still elevated compared to March, compared to the beginning of April. So that's good. TVL is also still doing relatively fine here, but that obviously, and I've spoken about this before, but that's also very much dependent and caused by the price. However, when I take a look at some other data, such as the volume, such as the open interest, I get a little bit less enthusiastic. Now, open interest is definitely not something Solana needs to rally, but I do think we need some volume. And yes, we had some volume here defending the bottom and reclaiming support around 146, 145. And we had some volume going into the resistance right here. But this high volume during this move here is just a confirmation that the range holds. And then at the same point of time, after that, the volume started to decrease quite a bit. The volume during this move up was quite low. So I'm not, and I do think we need that volume to rally up higher. The Bitcoin dominance right now is relatively high. Bitcoin is doing great, but it's not really pulling most major altcoins together with it. So we need to see some sort of a change that actually does happen for me to believe we can still expect that bullish breakout. And I would say short term, you can see hopefully you can see it, but the POC is right here. That's the point of control. That's where most of the volume has been traded, and therefore a very relevant level. You can see we rejected, we dropped down below that, we retested. We have an imbalance to the downside right here for Solana towards 146, 147. I think we'll drop down into that. And for now, I do think we'll be able to hold that. And due to the current situation for Bitcoin, which is still very bullish and still very positive, I'd still argue it's most likely we're going to get the bullish breakout. But first of all, I would definitely not buy Solana right now in anticipation of that breakout. I think the probability of it is too low for you to safely do that. Maybe an entry around 146 is a possibility. I'd say risk reward wise, it's worth it, but all right. And then outside of that, today we also have some major news with the unemployment rate and non-farm payrolls. Let's say that the unemployment rate is much higher than expected and we get some recession fears. Then Solana will easily drop down into 138 in a matter of 2 hours. Right, so that's the other side of the risk that we're on. So far, we're still in, to summarize, we're still in a very strong consolidation. And the trend would suggest, not only the trend for Solana, but also in the general markets, that will get bullish continuation. But there's these other things on the horizon that could change that. And in combination with that, the probability of seeing that continuation is also not high enough for me to say that is 100% going to happen. Right, so therefore, keep your eyes on that level at 146, keep your eyes on 153. I'll definitely keep you updated on this as well. In my middle of the day market updates, I cover Solana quite often, so keep an eye on those. But for now, I think that's what you need to know. All right, so thank you for watching, take care, and bye.